What is up, everybody, and welcome to another Kids Stretch class brought to you by Stretch Effects. My name is Coach Luke, and I'll be taking you through today's shoulder-focused 30-minute class. So when we look at healthy shoulder function, right, what we do is we look at CARs, right? So our CARs are an indication and a kind of a characterization of our workspace, right? So our workspace is the total amount of space that our shoulders have to work, right? So when we look at shoulder capsule, upper arm, my humerus in my shoulder capsule, the better that my shoulder capsule can rotate, the better my shoulder function is going to be, the better my capsular space, the better my overall workspace, and then the more I can do with that shoulder. So whether you're in the gym, whether you want to lift overhead, whether you want to press out in front, whether you want to play golf and have a good backswing, anything that you do, whether you want to lift your kids up overhead, right? The better my shoulder capsular space is, the better my workspace, the better my shoulder is going to function. Okay, so when we look at our prerequisites of motion, right? So the kind of the foundational components of shoulder motion, we look at what's called internal rotation and external rotation. So internal, external rotation kind of form the foundation for adduction, abduction, and flexion and extension. So that being said, we're just going to look at overall shoulder function with our CARs and some capsule CARs, and then we're going to really kind of focus and lock in on internal and external rotation today. And within future classes, we'll look at adduction, abduction. We'll look at kind of each individual component piece. Okay, so from here, you can stay in the collapsed kneeling position, or we can go up into what's called tall kneeling. We're just going to start with 2 shoulder CARs on each side. Okay, so you start with my right arm. So my left arm is going to wrap around my body. It's going to grab the rib cage. That's just going to allow me to stay down in this kind of ribs down position. If you want to go from here, that is great too. That widens out your base, gives you a little bit more support. So I'm going to squeeze the block in, squeeze the glutes, ribs down. Everything is locked in from here. So as I move, I'm only moving through the shoulder and not through my spine. Okay, so here, ribs are down. I'm going to rotate. It's called external rotation. Arm comes out. I'm going to adduct, adduct across the body. My palm come across as far as I can without anything else moving, right? So everything's still. Come up, think scrape the eyebrow with the bicep, scrape the ear. I'm gonna rotate with that arm as much as I can. So not just the hand, right? I'm gonna rotate, I'm imagining I have an X on my bicep. Come up and over as much as I can without anything else moving. Continue to try to rotate this arm as much as possible while I come over the top and back down. My start position. So now my back of my hand will be on my side, thumb facing back. Now I'm going to reverse that motion into extension, rotation over the top, as high as I can come with the elbow still locked out. Come back to that tall flexion position, and then I will continue working in the opposite rotation as I come across the body from supination back down to my start position. I'll go one more rep there. Reset that tension in the block, reset that tension to the core. Arm rotates out, keep that rotation out as I supinate, which is palm up, adduct across the body, scrape the eyebrow with that bicep. When I run out of workspace up top, I will start to rotate that arm, rotate that X on that bicep, come up, max out this rotation here while I'm maxing out shoulder rotation as well. And then come down to my start position, thumb faces back, and reverse. Thumb goes high, rotate over the top, scrape the eyebrow with the bicep, come across, and come down to your start position. We're gonna switch. So think right hand on the rib cage, left hand is externally rotated. Set the tension on block, set the tension on the glutes, ribs are down, arms out, cross that body over out in front, palms up, elbows locked out, cross the eyebrow, cross the ear. Again, rotate. It's called axial rotation, which is what we'll get into next with our capsule CARs. So I'm trying to max out this rotation as much as I can while I'm maxing out rotation at the global shoulder joint there. And reverse. Thumb comes back. Slowly rotate as I come over. Ribs stay down. Arm stays locked out. We cross the face with the arm. Palm is up. Continue to rotate now this way. as I come down to my start position. One more rep there. Across the body, across the face, across the eyebrow, max out that arms rotation, over, all the way down my start, and reverse. Thumb comes high. Once I run out of my extension workspace, I will rotate over, 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 ribs stay down, glutes stay tight, across the body, across the face, continue to rotate back to my start position. So that was 2 shoulder cars for overall shoulder cars, I should say, and then we'll go into what's called capsule cars. So from here, ribs stay down. I will be in this position here, elbows locked out, ribs are down, squeeze that block. I'm gonna go straight arm, rotation, and straight arm, external rotation. Okay, so from there, we're just gonna get a feel for internal rotation, get a feel for external rotation. From there, let's go ribs down one more time, internal rotation, external rotation. Okay, from there, let's come up to 90 degrees, bend those elbows, and then from here, I will internally rotate. As I internally rotate, I want to make sure that I'm not jumping forward there, okay? So from here, I want to make sure I stay up, shoulders straight out from my side, and only rotate as far as I can until I feel like I want to shrug my shoulders, okay? So we're coming down internally, and rotate back into external rotation. I will rotate internal rotation, and external rotation. So when I externally rotate, I'm trying to take those fists behind me, trying to really drive back, feel that back side of that shoulder working. I will go 2 reps from the side here. So we'll go face this side so you can really see what's going on as I rotate. So my arms are straight up my side, ribs are down, core is tight, glutes are tight, and then I will internally rotate and externally rotate. So as I externally rotate, fists go back, elbows stay still, and I'll make sure I don't arch my lower back, right? I don't want my ribs to jut out, because that means I'm extending my spine, so it means my spine is taking over for what a healthy shoulder should be doing, right? So when we look at a lot of spine injuries and a lot of spine kind of low back dysfunction, a lot of times it's our back taking over for what our shoulders or hips or other joints should be doing, right? So we want to work on locking in here, brace that core, squeeze your glutes. Let's go one more rep. Internal rotation and external rotation. So squeeze back, feel those shoulders, and come down. So that was called capsule cars. So that was what we talked about in the beginning. That's our internal, external rotation. So that's kind of a description or a characterization of what a healthy capsule should look like, right? So if you don't have a whole lot of internal and external rotation, that's okay. That means you know where to start, and you know what to work on kind of as you get started. But at the same time, I would say really work on improving that first before you try to really go into an overhead flexion or a lot of different kind of shoulder training positions. Okay, so from here, we're going to get right into what we call sleeper. So that is going to be how we improve our internal rotation, right? So it's called a sleeper stretch, and then we're going to do some tails and rails out of this position here. So if you have a block, you can go right on your side, move it up, or you can go down. So really depending on what's more comfortable for you. I'm going to go down this side, which is going to be nice and comfortable for my neck as we relax into this stretch. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go just lay on my side. I'm going to pull that shoulder under me. Back side of my shoulder will stay in contact with the ground at all times, right? So as I come into the stretch here, I'll make sure I'm not doing this, right? I don't want this part of my shoulder to come up. So that's why I want to stack those shoulders. One shoulder right over the other. Make sure I'm at 90 degrees, and then I'm just going to pull that elbow down 1 or 2 inches. Okay, that's just going to give my AC joint just a little bit more space to work with, not to make sure I'm just not kind of grinding into motion that I can't really control, right? So here, I'm going to rest my head. I'm going to make sure I have this good space between the block and my shoulder. Okay, so if you need to, you can use the other hand to pull down. So again, this arm comes straight out in front. and I'm just gonna pull it down just a little bit. My hip position, I'm gonna make it kind of like a V with my body, right? So my hips will come back if you're on a yoga mat, like the back side of the mat, and then your feet can come straight out and line up with the front corner. Okay, if you want to bend your knees, that's okay. But as long as your legs are in direction of that corner, that's going to give my body a nice V shape. So as I come into this stretch here, I have room for my knuckles for my arms to work. Okay, so from here, shoulders are stacked. Make sure I'm not shrugging. Right, so make sure I got this good space here. Back side of my shoulders on the floor. And for today, we're just going to go into that stretch as much as is comfortable, and then we're not going to go up into 100% of our pales contraction. This is new for you. Just go really easy, really slow. This is something that we don't want to like crank into, especially because what will happen a lot of times is as we crank into that stretch, we may lose that position that we want, right? So this is the position we need to be in to make sure I got good space here, backside of my shoulder stays down, but all my rotation is coming from internal rotation. If I shrug up, now that's my shoulder blade coming along for the ride, right? So I want to make sure shoulder blade stays down and back. You can give it a little subtle tension to pull back and down. Elbow's not straight out 90, right? So I'm pulling down just a little bit. From here, top hand goes to my wrist. Okay, I don't want to go just from the fist. I'm gonna go from the wrist and slowly pull down into internal rotation. So whatever that is for you, right? So shoulders stay stacked. If you can get really low, that's great. If you only get a little bit, that's fine too. We just want to make sure we're at your end range of internal rotation stretch and really just go nice and easy with it. We don't want to crank into uncomfortable positions or any pain, anything like that. Just feel that stretch here. Just go all the way through the top of the shoulder. Maybe on the back side of the shoulder a little bit. Head is relaxed, core is nice and tight, and we're just going to pull down into internal rotation. Okay, so I'll just stretch this. I'll just go over our pales and rails protocol. So normally we go for about 2 minutes, right? So this is called a passive stretch of our pales and rails. Normally 2 minutes or even more than that would be a good kind of place to start. We're just gonna go, we've already stretched a little bit, so we're just gonna, I'll just explain our pales rails and then we'll get right into it, okay? So our pales is me trying to drive out of this position, right? So my top hand is the movable object and it's not gonna allow me to move, right? So it's called an isometric contraction, where you're going to be contracting all those muscles that you're stretching, but you're not actually going to be moving anywhere because your top hand is blocked, okay? So when we do our pales and rails, we're going to build that contraction up over 10 seconds, right? So think like one second is 10%, 2 seconds is 20%. We don't want to just jump by 10%, right? We want to think increasing 10%, 11%, 12%, all the way up to your greatest safety efforts. Like we said today, we'll only go up to about 70%. But in the future, as you do this more, as you get more comfortable with it, you build up to 100%, you go max effort, and we'll hold that max effort or the end of your whatever that is for another 10 seconds. And then our rails contraction, which is quickly changing direction, so there's no ramp to this. We go right into a rails where now I'm trying to pull my hand off my top hand, right? So now I'm trying to go in the other direction into more internal rotation. Okay, so we'll hold that for about 15 seconds. We'll do one set on each side, and then we'll go into some external rotation work. Okay, so from here, take a breath in, lock in that body, settle, tighten it down, that shoulder blades, everything stays locked in, and then slowly start driving up into that top hand as we drive up for 10, 9, keep getting more, 8, 7, 6, 5, we're at 50%, 4, 3, stop at 7, 2, 1, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Try to pull off that top hand staying where it's at. Now we're just trying to pull into more internal rotation. You want to take your left hand, you want to hold that shoulder down so it doesn't shrug up. Go from there, we're going to hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you can take that top hand back. And if we're doing multiple rounds, you would take it down into that end range position of that stretch. And you would just hold that there, and then you can just breathe. In slower out into your nose, preferably out through your nose as well, as we go into a deeper stretch position. You go for 2 rounds or even after 3. Just making sure if you're new to this, make sure you're just going in a comfortable position so you're not really feeling any pain or any discomfort. Okay, so then we'll slowly come out of that and get some internal rotation work. We're gonna come up while we switch sides. We're just gonna go straight into 2 shoulder cars for that right side. Okay, so from here, I'll be in collapsed down position. Ribs down, core is tight. I'm gonna cross the body, and we just wanna get a feel for all that stuff that we just worked on there. So make sure you got some more space in that shoulder capsule. Because again, we're working on internal rotation, which is really the foundation of all healthy shoulder function. So when you get to this position, that shoulder flexion out here, right? As I rotate, that is internal rotation coming over the top and back down. Reverse, coming into extension, over and cross and down. Okay, so that was 2 shoulder cars there. We're gonna go to the left position here. We're gonna go sleeper, 1 rep of tails rails, and then we'll do 2 reps of shoulder pumps. Okay, so shoulders back and down, right? So the back side of my shoulder on the floor. I will come straight out to 90, and then I'm gonna pull down just a little bit. My hips are back side of my yoga mat. Feet or my heel are at the front side, front corner. If you want to bend, you can do that as well. Like I said, just make sure the legs stay lined up. So again, you can reset that shoulder if you want to. Block this down, back your shoulder on the floor, elbow straight out in front, and then drop it down an inch or 2. And there, top hand comes down to my wrist, not my fist, right? My wrist, and pulls down into the stretch here. But as I come into that stretch, make sure your shoulder stays back. Back side of my shoulders on the floor, coming into internal rotation. I'll explain this while we do our nice subtle stretch, and then we'll go into some external rotation. Okay, so from here, again, like we said, about a 2-minute, normally about a 2-minute passive stretch. So you can hang out here longer if you want to pause the video and get more of an internal rotation stretch. You certainly can for the sake of today's class. Probably just slightly less than that. Okay, so just breathe. As we do this, we want to think 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale, preferably into the nose, out through the nose. As I come down, my fist will stay in the direction of like my belt buckle, my waistline. I want to make sure I'm not coming out too far this way, too far towards my body. As we come down, we just guide it down deeper into internal rotation. My pails, I'm building the contraction up for 10 seconds as I'm trying to drive up into my top hand. Top hand doesn't let it move. And then if we're stopping at 60, 70, 80, even up to 100%, we'll hold that contraction for another 10 seconds. From there, I will rails contraction. That's going to be regressive angular contraction. So now I'm going to try to pull the bottom hand off of the top hand, and then I will hold that contraction for another 15 seconds. Okay, so we're going to lock that torso in, take a breath in, core is nice and tight, shoulder blade back and down, and then start driving up into that top hand. 1, 2, 3, we're at 30%, 4, 40%, 5, 50%, 6, 60%, 7, 70%. You can stop there. If you're comfortable, you're familiar with this, go to 80, 90, and 100 for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Pull off that top hand. It may not move to drag your end range. Pull deeper into internal rotation, like your arm wrestling when it goes here. Just try to get that wrist straight. Try to reset that. Good. Keep driving down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you can take that top hand. Like I said, if we were doing for multiple rounds, you would take it more into a deeper stretch, and that's where we would do our next round of tails and rings. You can hold for another 30 seconds, even up to 2 minutes. Do more than that if you like, and then you do another round from that new position. For sake of today's class, when you're just getting familiar with everything, we're just going to do 1 set, tails, rails on internal, get some internal external rotation work there. Now let's go into 2 shoulder cars. From here, I will take hand on the rib cage. I will rotate out. From there, I will adduct, right? So I'm going to take palm across the body, arm comes across, scrape the eyebrow. From here, I will internally rotate maximally, come over, down, and reverse the extension over the top. Bicep scrapes the ear, come across into adduction and around. Let's go 1 more rep. abduction, flexion, and trying to rotate right. So you're here, max out that X on that bicep rotation while I continue overall shoulder rotation. Finish that rep off. We're gonna come over the top and abduct again and through. Okay, so let's go right into what we call shoulder external rotation. So we're gonna go into a prone position right on your stomach. If you have, so you can do a test right here, right? So if you have good shoulder external rotation, core's tight, glutes are tight, you can do a test here. So arms straight out from the side, and elbows about 90 degrees, straight from the side of my shoulder, and I will externally rotate. See how high my hand comes off the ground. If you get kind of high up like me, you can do from a block position. So now your hand is elevated on a block. If you find that your hand just barely gets off the ground, you can just keep your hand right on the floor. We'll do our tails around. So because we're not really in a full-on stretch here, we're just going to be working what's called more isometric. So we're still going to do a tails rails protocol, but we wouldn't have that 2-minute stretch. You can do that in other positions, other setups, but for the sake of this one, you have that block, you have like a stack of books. We'll go from here. So you got elbow strap on the side, hand is down. I'm going to tuck my tailbone, I can kind of lift my belly button off the ground, tuck my tailbone under. If you have another block, you can throw it between your legs. That just gives you something to squeeze, helps you create more body tension. So you make sure as I'm doing this here, I'm not arching my back or lifting my chest, right? So I'm going to take straight down on the floor, squeeze that block, tuck that tailbone, and then we're going to do a 10-second ramp driving down into the block or into the floor, and then a 10-second hold at maximum effort, trying to rotate down as much as I can. Okay, from there, I'll do 15-second rails, as now I'm trying to pull off more, using only that backside of the shoulder. You should feel a good burn, good tension up here. Okay, so from there, I will tuck my tailbone, lock in, forehead on the forearm, elbows nice and still, and then we start ramping right down into that block or into the floor for 10, 9, 8, each second get more, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, max effort, 2, 1, and hold, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and you got 3, 2, 1, and rails, pull off. Body stays tight, keep coming drive up more. Feel that back side of that shoulder working. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come back down. So as we do that, for the next side, make sure that as we come up, we're not extending that wrist, right? So wrist stays still, just rotation of that shoulder, okay? So we'll go to switch sides. That was right side shoulder external rotation. Now we're going to do the left side shoulder external rotation. Finish with some swimmers, and we're done. So from here, take this block, go between the legs, just like that. Here, I'll go forehead on forearm. I'm going to tuck my tailbone, squeeze that block. Again, your left and right sides may be different, right? So do a little test, right? So from here, see how much I can get from shoulder, right? And not arching my back. If you got space, throw that block down there, set of books, something hard that you can press into. If not, just go straight from the floor. We're going to do the same thing. We're just working on improving our external rotation. Okay, so from here, I'll tuck my tailbone, squeeze the glutes, forehead is down, and then I slowly, make sure 90 here, let me set this up. So you could do it from higher than 90 or lower than 90. Take up today, straight out from the side of the body, right here. Okay, so take a breath in, brace that core, squeeze that block, and start pressing down. Build that up. 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70, 80, 90, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, she's shaking. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and quickly change directions. Rails, try to pull off, pull off, pull off. Get higher with that fist. Feel that back side of that shoulder working. Keep driving for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly back. Very good. So that was one set of internal rotation and external rotation. Tails and ribs. So like I said, in future classes, we will do adduction, abduction. We will do flexion, extension. From there, I just want us to go to one set of swimmers, right? So we're just going to do 3 reps here. So we're going to be in the collapse standing position. I'm going to be in this ribs down here. I'm going to take my hands behind my head, and then I'll just take my elbows in, and I'll squeeze my shoulder blades back. Ribs stay down, keep my elbows back. I'm going to pull arms off of my head, go up into a Y position, so I'm trying to press back to the wall behind me. As I come down, I'm going to swim my arms down, turn those fists over, come back, I'm going to bend my elbows, try to keep them as high up on my back as I can without my chest moving, and then come down. I'm going to go from the sides. You can see in this view as I come here. Now in this position, I'm going to reset the core, reset the legs, elbows squeeze back, hands come off, reach back in extension. From there, I will swim them up, turn the hands over, press back behind me. As I do so, I'm going to bend those elbows, come down to behind the head, don't touch down yet, elbows still press back, and down. We got 2 more there. From here, I will take elbows back, ribs stay down, hands rotate off. I will go hands up into a Y. I will swim down, turn my hands over, reach back to extension, elbows locked out, palms are up. Bend those elbows, come behind the body, don't move anything else, and then touch down. From there, you can reset the core, elbows drive back, hands rotate off, reach back, swim up, elbows stay locked out, keep trying to reach back the whole time. From there, I will bend my elbows, hands behind my head, and touch down. We got 1 more rep. Set that core, press back with those elbows, hands rotate off. From there, I will reach up, keep trying to press back behind me, rotate, 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 squeeze, bend, hands together as high up on your back as you can, and set down. Last one here, core tight, ribs down, rotate back, hands rotate off the back without anything else moving. Extend those elbows, keep reaching as high up there as you can. I will swim my hands up as I turn them over. Keep trying to press back on that wall behind you. From there, I will bend my elbows, keep driving those elbows back, hands back, and set down and relax. Very good. That is it for today's shoulder-focused 30-minute class. Like I said, that was internal, external rotation emphasis. In future classes, we will go over adduction, abduction, flexion, and extension, and really kind of continue to break the shoulder down. But we'll always be doing our shoulder cars, like I said, do them in the morning, do them before you train, do them at the end of the day. The more shoulder cars you can build in throughout your day, the better overall workspace capacity you're going to have, and control over that workspace, and get a feel for how your shoulder is functioning on a daily basis. Okay, so again, thank you for joining me in today's class, and I'll see you at the next one.